Hey everyone, and welcome back to Old Charles the channel, where we dive deep into the stories in your pocket. Today, we're looking at a coin that every single American has held, spent, and probably overlooked 100 times. The humble nickel. Well, the short answer is probably not. But the long answer is so much more fascinating. Because the true value of this coin isn't just in its melt value or a hidden doubling. Its value is as a time capsule. The 2023 nickel is the final chapter of a story that began in 1938. It's a piece of history that you can hold in your hand. And today, we're going to explore exactly what makes it so special. The Jefferson nickel was first minted in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. For over 80 years, Thomas Jefferson's portrait has graced the obverse, and his home, Monticello, has been on the reverse. It's one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. But in 2004, something changed. For the Westward Journey series, Monticello was temporarily replaced. And then, in 2006, we got a new, modern portrait of Jefferson and a completely new reverse design that changed every year. This was known as the Westward Journey and Return to Monticello series. The 2022 nickel featured a brand new obverse portrait of Jefferson, which was a big deal. But then, for 2023, the U.S. Mint did something no one expected. They brought back the original 1938 Felix Schlag design. That's right. The 2023 nickel is a tribute. It's a beautiful, retro-style homage to the coin that started it all. And here's the kicker. The American Women Quarters program is running from 2022 to 2025, and a new nickel program is set to begin after that. This means the 2023 nickel, with its classic design, could very well be the last Jefferson nickel of its kind. Okay, let's get the obvious out of the way. The face value of this coin is, and always will be, 5 cents. You can't walk into a store and demand more than that. It is, first and foremost, legal tea. Still made of a copper-nickel alloy. They are not, I repeat, not made of silver, unless you have a special proof or mint set version we'll discuss later. Because of this composition, the melt value of a standard 2023 nickel fluctuates with the metals market. The AS of this recording, the melt value of a circulating 2023 nickel is actually slightly more than its face value, hovering around 6 or 7 cents. Now, before you get any ideas, it is illegal to melt down U.S. coins for their metal content. So, while that's a fun fact, it's not a profit strategy. So, if the melt value is a dead end, where does the real collector value come from? The vast majority of the over 1.1 billion 2023 nickels minted are these. A worn, circulated 2023 D or 2023 P nickel is worth 5 cents. However, if you can find a brilliant, uncirculated coin straight from a mint roll, a collector might pay 25 cents to $1 for it, simply to have a perfect example for their collection without buying a whole roll. Now we're talking. The San Francisco Mint produces coins specifically for collectors. These are not found in circulation. You have to buy them directly from the U.S. Mint or from a coin dealer, struck on specially burnished blanks. These have a satiny, matte-like finish. In their original mint packaging, these can be worth $3 to $5. This is the king of the hill for visual appeal. Proof coins are struck multiple times with polished dies and planchets to create a stunning, mirror-like background. The fields and frosted, detailed design, the devices. A standard 2023 S-proof nickel is worth $5 to $10. This is the grand prize. If the contrast between the mirror fields and the frosted design is extreme and beautiful, it's called a cameo. The most spectacular examples are deep cameos. For a 2023 S nickel with strong cameo contrast, collectors can pay $15 to $30 or more, especially if it's graded as a perfect PR 70 by a service like PCGS or NGC. Planchet could be worth hundreds of dollars. But these are incredibly rare. You have a better chance of finding a wheat penny in your change. So, while you should always keep an eye out, don't bank on it.so. Let's answer the question we started with. What is the 2023 nickel's value? As a piece of circulating currency, it's worth 5 cents. But as a piece of numismatic history, it's priceless. It's the beautiful, final bow for a classic American coin design. Your mission now is to check your change. Look for the 2023 date. Appreciate its classic, retro design. And if you're serious about collecting, Consider buying a pristine 2023 S-proof coin from the U.S. Mint or a trusted dealer. It's an affordable and significant piece to add to your collection. The nickel. It seems so simple, so mundane. But its story is a wild ride through American history, filled with silver, a famous outlaw, a beloved artist, and a founding father. This is the story of how a 5-cent coin became a mirror of a growing nation. This was our first 5-cent piece. It was tiny, made of silver, and incredibly rare today. This evolved into the half-dime. For over 70 years, from 1794 to 1873, the primary 5-cent coin was this little silver piece. During the war, people were hoarding gold and silver coins. All coinage, including the tiny half-dime, vanished from circulation. The country was facing a massive coin shortage. The government needed a solution, a new 5-cent coin made from a metal that wasn't precious, and therefore wouldn't be hoarded. That metal was nickel. In 1866, the first true nickel was born, the shield nickel. It was a radical departure. It was larger than the half-dime. It was made of a copper-nickel alloy, 25% nickel, 75% copper, and it was tough. I mean that literally. The metal was so hard it was hell on coin dies. Its design featured a large shield on the front and the number 5 surrounded by rays on the back. Later, due to the rays causing excessive die. Purely practical. It was meant to get money circulating again, and it worked. For nearly 2 decades, the shield nickel was the workhorse 5-cent piece, paving the way for an icon. Almost immediately, con artists realized they could gold-plate these new nickels and pass them off as $5 gold pieces to the unsuspecting public. It was a scammer's dream. The U.S. Mint caught on quickly and added cents to the reverse later that same year, making the no-cents variety a key coin for collectors. And then, there's the legend. The 1913 Liberty Head nickel. The design was supposed to be replaced by the Buffalo nickel in 1913, so officially, no Liberty Head nickels were minted that year. But somehow, 5 were mysteriously struck. No one knows exactly how or why they left the mint. They are the ghosts of American numismatics. One sold in 2018 for over $4.5 million. They are the ultimate American coin mystery. An artist named Felix Schlag won. His design was brilliant. The obverse featured a dignified profile of Jefferson. But the reverse was a masterpiece of perspective and detail. A front-facing view of Jefferson's beloved home, Monticello. When the U.S. entered World War II, nickel became a critical war material for making armor. So, from 1942 to 1945, the nickel changed. They removed the nickel. These coins were made of 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. You can identify them by the large mint mark above Monticello. These war nickels are the only U.S. nickels that contain silver. In 2004, for the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition, Monticello was temporarily replaced. We got stunning new reverse designs like the keelboat and the American bison. From 2006 onward, the nickel featured a new, forward-facing portrait of Jefferson and a return to Monticello, but from a different angle. And this brings us to the modern chapter. In 2022, a new obverse portrait was introduced. But in 2023, something poetic happened. To honor the coin's legacy, the U.S. Mint brought back Felix Schlag's original 1938 obverse design for one last hurrah. This makes the 2023 nickel a historic bookend. It's a tribute to an 85-year legacy, potentially marking the final year of the classic Jefferson nickel as we know it, before a new series begins where we make coin collecting easy. Today, we're demystifying the number one thing you need to understand: how to judge a coin's condition, also known as its grade. We'll break it down into 3 simple parts. This is where it gets exciting. These coins have only light where on the highest points. They still have a lot of their original luster and look almost new to the untrained eye. And then, there is the pinnacle. MS-70. Under 5x magnification, this coin has no flaws whatsoever. No marks, no scratches, no hairlines. It is, as the day it was made, perfect. This is the highest grade possible and commands a massive premium. Where happens on the highest points of the coin first. On a walking Liberty $50, check the knee and the breast. On a Jefferson nickel, check Jefferson's cheekbone and hair. If these high points are sharp and detailed, the coin has little wear. If they are flat and merged with the rest of the design, it's heavily worn. When a coin is struck, the metal flows into the die under immense pressure, creating a unique, microscopic texture. This is what gives a mint-state coin its luster or cartwheel effect. It's the glow of a fresh, original surface. Cleaning, polishing, or heavy wear destroys this forever. A coin with original luster is always more valuable. Cleaning leaves tiny, hairline scratches that are immediately obvious to collectors and will permanently reduce a coin's value to just its melt value. A dirty original coin is always better than a cleaned one based on our analysis. No wear, fantastic luster, and only a few minor distracting marks. I would grade this coin as MS 64 choice.